Welcome back to my channel. This is Andy in Singapore. For today's video, we are going to do a very quick review of this Seiko Speedtimer. Reference number for the watch is SBDL103, and this is the JDM model of the watch here, the Speedtimer or Daytona as fans would like to call it. It's a new watch. I think this model was launched sometime last year, and they have a few colorways. And for the SBDL103, this one is a special limited edition color launch a few months back, and we have a few different Seiko models given this treatment here. So this treatment here we're talking about is this sort of a all stealth black case and black bracelet look, and also this green markers here. Now with the lens zoom in very slightly, let me run you through some of the key specifications of the Seiko Speedtimer. This watch here is a mid-size watch. It's got a 39mm case size. Alright, so the trend these days is going towards slightly smaller watches, and it is no different for the chronos. I think this is a really good size because it's going to suit many different wrist sizes at the same time. It's still going to look very sporty, and overall thickness over here is around 13.4mm. So in my earlier unboxing video, I mentioned this is rather thick. It does feel like it, largely due to the fact that this one here has got a sort of a slab-sided design, and it is not helped by the fact that this one here has got a slightly domed sapphire crystal. Lug width here is a very strap-friendly 20mm, so you can definitely swap out for your favorite leather racing rally kind of straps. But I think it looks really good on the stock bracelet, given that everything here matches really well, looks really good. The finish, the amount of sheen here is just right, and I think you don't want to mess with it, because if you change to a different strap and all that, in terms of tone, in terms of colors, it's going to look quite different. So I think it is best to leave it on the stock strap. L to L distance here is also very manageable, comes in at about 45.5mm, so it's really proportionate in terms of case to case length, and I think this is a great proportion to have, because again, it's going to look good on different wrist sizes. Crystal size here is about 30.5mm, and this one here, despite being a chrono, it doesn't look cluttered. Alright, it doesn't look busy or cluttered. I think partly thanks to this all black stealth look and all that, so there isn't very much standout features or standout colors on the dial or bezel, apart from all the markings. Powering the Speedtimer is Seiko's V192 solar movement. So this is solar quartz. You don't have to change batteries, and I think this is a great feature to have in any watch. Alright, no more trips to the service center or the watchmaker to get your batteries changed. Just leave it by the window, gets charged, and it's going to work for 6 months. Okay, so this one has a 6-month power reserve, and I really think it's a great feature to have. In terms of functions though, let me just show you the chrono function. So you can see this long seconds hand here, it doesn't tick, it actually sweeps. Okay, so alright, so in actual fact it ticks, but it looks like it's sweeping, and I think this looks really good. So if I do a reset here, you can see, alright, it's smooth, and you can see on the sub dial here at the 9 o'clock zone that it is a quartz movement. It is ticking for every second, but when I use the chronograph timer function, the stopwatch function, you can see that it is almost like a sweep. So I think you're sort of getting the best of both worlds, alright? You're getting the accuracy of quartz, and you're also getting the sweeping of a mechanical movement sort of. So I think, it's a really good idea to put in the solar quartz. The night vision version of the Seiko Speedtimer goes for around Singapore dollars $730 on the grey market. You can definitely get this one from our boutique, and this is where the watch was loaned in from. So let me just take some time to thank our boutique. Alright, Eric, thank you very much for so generously loaning me all these watches for my video reviews. And here are some of my thoughts on the overall case design as well as the build quality. Like I mentioned earlier in this video, I love the case finishing. I'm not a big fan of coated cases and coated bracelet, but I think this one here is done really well. I'm not too sure about the longevity, alright, or how durable the coating is, because this is a loan set, it's brand new, and I don't have real world wearing experience with it. I don't know how well it's going to stand against daily wearing or knocks against the table or doorway, but it looks really good. Doesn't look cheap, alright? Just the right amount of shine and texture going on. I really like this case back inscription here. So usually for coated watches, they would normally leave the case back to be just plain old steel, okay? So this one is actually different. They've bothered to coat the case back, and it is done in a really nice finishing as well, brush finish. And the inscription here is done really nicely on a white printing. So you can see all the specifications over here. This one here does have a sapphire crystal as well as the solar movement and things like that. Of course, we've got this Prospex logo here, which sort of draws mixed feelings from all the Seiko fans out there, but I think it looks really good, right? Prospex, letters P and S done in the shape of the letter X. Right? Pretty creative way to do your logo, and we have a very nice solid clasp here. The scissor here is definitely solid, really nicely coated as well. Same quality, same finishing with other parts of the watch, and we have this smaller buckle or clasp over here with these trigger buttons. And in terms of function and looks, I think this one here suits the watch really well. The bracelet here tapers from 20 down to 18. Again, really nice taper for more or less sports oriented watch. And moving on to the watch's dial design here. So again, I would say this is a very simple design. Alright, we have this stealth theme going on all over the watch, okay, and it looks really good. So this black tactical look here is executed really nicely. It looks the part, right? Looks like a nice tactical watch, as the name implies. This is the night vision collection. I love how this green here works against the matte black dial, and we've got a different shade of blue for the 3 sub dials here, giving it sort of a, you know, panda kind of look. Again, from the dial here, sub dial, as well as this tachymeter bezel, I think everything here just blends in really well and gives off this tactical look as well as a sporty look. And here's a look at the Lume shot of the Seiko Speedtimer Night Vision Edition. So in actual fact, when I switch off the lights over here, it doesn't look very different. Okay, the Lume markers here are still green. When the lights are on, they were green. So now the lights are off, they're still green. It looks really good. In terms of brightness here, no different from any other Seiko Prospex watch. This is top-notch quality Lume from Seiko. Let's have a look at the stage wrist shot of the Seiko Speedtimer here. I do feel that this watch here is slightly a bit too tall for my liking. Perhaps shaving off 1mm would be the ideal look or size for this watch, or maybe use a flat sapphire crystal, but then again, it's just slightly too tall for my liking. In terms of overall dimensions and wearability, no issues at all, fits really well for any wrist size. Okay, I don't have a very big wrist, but I think this watch fits me very well. Sub 40mm chronograph, looks good, looks sporty, looks the part, and it doesn't feel overly heavy. I think this watch here on full links is around 150 grams, and if it's sized correctly to my wrist size, it should come in at around 120 to 30 grams, which is the right weight for a full stainless steel bracelet watch. And we've got a quick size comparison between the Seiko Speedtimer and my own Speedmaster. Alright, so both watches chronographs. One is the definitive chronograph. Alright, I'm sorry Daytona. The Speedy is the definitive chronograph for me. Alright, actually this is the only watch I have. So both watches are actually about the same in terms of thickness, but the Moon watch here does have a thinner mid case, thereby giving it a slimmer look and slimmer profile. Alright, so this is a slightly bigger watch at 42mm, but I would say in terms of size, both watches, they wear really well and they both look very good. A very classic design over here. So in summary, I would say the Seiko Speedtimer is a really affordable watch loaded with functions. We've got sapphire crystal, we've got this solar quartz movement here, which is really good for a watch to be a daily beater, you know, sort of a fuss-free operation, grab and go kind of idea going on here. You don't have to reset or set the time again, that kind of thing. So if the stealthy night operations look is not your cup of tea, you can always look at the other color variations such as the Pepsi dial version or the all black or the blue dial version. Alright, so this is Andy in Singapore. I'll be back with more watch reviews next week. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.